10 days. Just one of the many responses coming out on social media in the last 24 hours or so. We're asking, how much damage has all this done to the White House, though, and is the situation about to change soon? Also, what other business is going unnoticed in the meantime? Let's bring in our guests from Fort Lauderdale in Florida. We're joined by Republican strategist Ed Pozzuoli. Hello to you. And from Washington, D.C., we can
hello to you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us. So we can speak to Molly Ball, who is a politics writer for The Atlantic. Thank you very much, Molly, for joining us on the France 24 debate.
Happy to be here.
Now, Ed Pozzuoli, let's perhaps come to you first. As a Republican strategist, what kind of strategy are we looking at from the White House from here on in? A reset? Now there's a new chief of staff, presumably very soon a new communications chief.
Well, I mean, look, General Kelly has been installed now as Chief of Staff, and I think that that's a good thing. He brings a lifetime of discipline, a lifetime of doing things through a process, and I think this White House sorely needed some discipline and process around its decision making and who actually spoke for the president and the administration. I think this is all a very good thing for purposes of organizing what is a rapid-fire, issue-oriented White House.
Now, there has certainly been a lot going on there, a lot of change. It wasn't just Anthony Scaramucci who's left. As you said, there's a new chief of staff as well. Molly Ball, I know that you've interviewed Reince Priebus, who was fired just a couple of days ago as chief of staff. It seems he's insisting all is well, but this is a major humiliation for him, and surely by inference, the Republican Party establishment too.
It does seem that way, and Priebus, by the way, contends that he resigned. He was not fired, but it was let go in any case in a very humiliating way. The world found out about it with the president tweeting that Priebus had been replaced quite unceremoniously. However, when I spoke to Reince, who I've known and have covered for quite a long time, he was still very much in the camp that the White House is doing great things, that the president is on track to do great things, that this was merely a new direction in order to allow them to be even more effective. The fact that he's not burning any bridges on his way out has created some speculation that perhaps he is still seeking some other kind of role inside or outside the White House.
Ed Pozzuoli, would you see that as possible for Reince Priebus after this scorching humiliation for him?
Well, I don't think it was humiliating to him. I think Reince Priebus is a fine man, has proven his mettle over time on behalf of the RNC and President Trump, for that matter. I think he's a real valuable asset, and the Trump administration should see how he's best used. But to Reince's point on this is that President Trump, on issues, on substantive matters that the American people really are interested in. This palace intrigue aside, it's nice for a debate, but the bottom line is that the American economy grew over 2.6% last quarter. I think that's the first time that we've broken through the 2.5% per quarter in some 8 years. I think that's really good news. Some of the policies that the Trump administration have put in place are working. The deregulation of certain industries and pulling back on the federal government overreach on certain businesses is actually causing both economic activity and job growth to occur in the United States, and that's where most Americans, that's what matters most to Americans.